tough thing, walking the tough walk, getting called everything but a senator. But you know what? Things that matter don't always come easy.
That's true.
And, you know, we're committed. We all took an oath to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Mississippi. And, you know, I took it seriously when I gave that oath and put my hand on the Bible. And the Constitution of both the federal government and the state of Mississippi says that we as the legislature and the state localities have the authority over education policy. It clearly states it. And so we're going to exercise that right. We're absolutely tired of the federal branch usurping the power that the Constitution reserved for the states. Education is not one of those enumerated powers listed for the federal government, and it's time that they got that fact straight.
Yes.
When you have a bunch of bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. concoct a plan such as Common Core, they had to do it in the manner that they did because they bypassed the legislatures, they bypassed Congress, they went directly to the state boards of education with the promise of competition for this money, with the No Child Left Behind waivers. If they had brought it before Congress and had brought it before the state legislatures, openly and transparency, it would have been a deal breaker. It would have never made it through the elected bodies in Congress and in the states, and the Federal Department of Education knew that. So we do applaud Governor Reeves and Governor Bryant for publicly, strongly stating that they're calling on the legislature to spearhead this effort. In Mississippi, as in state after state, the U.S. Department of Education and special interests strong-arm the state executive branch into adopting Common Core. In doing so, they cut the legislature and the people out of the process. They eviscerated our system of checks and balances. They made the states executive a pawn of the U.S. Department of Education. Given those perversions to our constitutional structure, we should have expected exactly what we got: a poor product that's a disservice to our children, their parents, and indeed to all citizens. Common Core has become a flashpoint that goes to the heart of our republic. Should we be able to abide by our constitutional structure and have government directed by and for the people? Or should we turn that structure on its head and use it as a means of excluding the people and their legislators from decision making? And that's exactly what happened. On issue after issue, we should truly make our own decisions. We should never allow our agencies to become proxies of the federal executive branch. The people of Mississippi are acutely aware that they must follow in the footsteps of the founders and the framers. They must stand for the cause of liberty, make their voices heard, and retain control of their government. Senator Michael Watson has traveled the state with me on our own dime, in our own time. When any of you called us and said, "Can you come meet with us and talk to our people?" we did our best to oblige you, and you were very hospitable and treated us well, and we saw a lot of the state and we met a lot of the people. And that's what we are here to do, is engage the people. You pay our salaries. You pay the taxes that keep the upkeep on this building. You have a voice and you matter. And we're showing you here today that we can do this if we all stand together. And like Senator Gandy said, we're not attacking anybody. We need to do this all together for the future. You know, even if we didn't craft new standards to replace Common Core, there's great standards out there from Massachusetts, California, other states that are free, that we don't have to pay for. We just have the courage to adopt them. Amen. Then we can have tests. We can use their test, or we can have our own test bid for those standards. It's not reinventing the wheel like some would have you believe. It is not brain surgery. I could never do brain surgery, but I can write standards. My daughter's going to be the surgeon, maybe.